Hello, art students. I'm Miss Morris, and today we will paint on canvas board using acrylic paint. I've titled this painting, Shark Attack. Materials needed for this painting are an 11 by 14-inch canvas board. Now you can find this at Michael's or Amazon. They're very cheap. And they usually come in a pack, or you can buy them singly if they are available that way. Again, they're only a few dollars each, and you can find them on Amazon or Michael's. Okay. The next thing we'll need is a pencil with an eraser in case you make mistakes, a cup of water. The brushes we will use today are a medium flat brush, or you can say a large flat brush. It's up to you. And a small round brush with a nice little pointy tip like this, okay? You also will need acrylic paint in colors, black, which are these two, white, light blue, and cobalt blue, and a little bit of red. Now your cobalt blue will be like a regular basic medium blue, similar to cerulean blue or cobalt blue. It doesn't matter, whatever blue you have, that's perfectly fine. And if you need to lighten it up, you can always mix a little white in it to bring it to the desired colored blue that you want. Okay, so again, those are the colors you'll need. You'll need light blue, medium blue, white, black, and we're going to mix the black and white to make gray, so you don't need to buy gray. And you need a little bit of red, okay? That's it. Let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is draw our image. Now, usually with painting with acrylic, in my lessons, I do not pre-draw my subjects or objects, I should say. I usually just paint them in and we just move along that way, totally freehand with the paint. But today, just so you can make your image a little more accurate at home, we're going to draw, and that makes it a little more easier for those of you at home who are going to paint this painting. So to start, we're going to start not halfway at the page, and your canvas board should be vertically. We're going to start down here, lower, okay? So about this much space at the base, that's what we need about. So we're going to start at the bottom. We're going to make some waves. Just like this. And that's about good. So I'm going to make this a little darker for you at home so you guys can see. But you don't have to draw so dark at home, okay? Make sure you draw nice and light, just enough so you can see your drawing. Okay, just like that. All right. Then you're going to repeat that same pattern, that line, I should say, at the base, underneath, going like this. And again, so you should be able to fit about 3. If not, if all you can fit is 2, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay? Now, about almost a whole hand's length, starting from here on this side, and we're going to mark off here on this side. So it's almost 2 inches from each side. We're going to create our shark. Now, just so we have a guideline, we're going to stop the shark right about there. Okay? So giving us some room here to paint in our fish, which will be the the victim, I should say, in this situation. We're going to start about there with the fish. So we're going to just come down and curve a line down just like this to your marker here. And you're going to do the same thing on this side. And widen those lines by curving them just like that. Easy. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to draw an inner line, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to draw a line in the middle, just like this. So it should look just like that. And if you feel you want to widen your shark, you can. If you feel like it's too narrow, if you brought your lines too, and you don't want it to look like a Christmas tree, okay? You want those lines to be rounded on the sides to mimic a shark. Okay, moving on. Now we're going to create the mouth, and we're going to do this just like this. So we kind of want the mouth to be a little big. Just like that. And what's great about this is if you make a mistake on the canvas board, you can always erase it. And I think that looks pretty good because I want it to have a nice big mouth. Okay. And I'm always going to make like this, mimic the same shape, but I'm just going to make it open more. So almost look like a sad face down, I mean a sad smile here to close and finish closing off that mouth. Just like that. Okay. You can always paint over any mistakes you feel like you've made, or you can always erase. Don't even worry about it. Just going to thin my line out a little bit here. There we go. Now on the sides of the shark right here, kind of gliding your pencil over, make sure the eyes are nice and even. You're just going to make like a little hill on the side and do the same thing here. So you've marked off your eyes, just like that. Coming inside of the mouth, we're going to start not all the way to the end here, leaving some space, making them smaller and as when you start, and then making them a little larger as you go up to the top. We're going to make these sharp teeth. And all you're doing is making triangular shapes, just like this. You're going to do the same thing here, starting small, making them a little bit bigger. Just like that. Okay, now we can begin to paint. Okay, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your small round brush, and I know you see on my palette I've already pre-mixed the gray, but I want to show you exactly how I did that. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to scoop up some white, and I'm going to place it here. And I'm going to take some black, just a little bit, like that, and I'm going to mix that. Now, at first, I'm going to mix and make a very light gray, as you see right here. So you're just going to take a little bit of black, and if you took too much, that's fine. You can always add a little bit more white until you get the desired color of a light gray. Now I'm just going to add just a tiny bit more black, darken it up just a little bit more, just a little bit, because I want it to kind of stay gray, color of a shark. And this is what you should have. It should look just like that, a very light gray, okay? And if you're not satisfied with your color, again, take some more black. You can add just a little bit more, like I'm showing you, until you get to the desired color that you like. The first thing you're going to do is inside this area here, you're going to paint this a light gray. Just like this. Okay. Make sure you're coating that. And if your brush feels a little tacky, all you have to do is put it right into the water and then back into your paint, making that paint nice and fluid again, okay? Stay within your lines as best as you can. Remember, if you go outside your lines by accident and you made a mistake, allow your paint to dry completely. And then if you paint over it, you can easily fix that mistake. Painting mistakes aren't always written in stone, okay? So you can always go back and fix them. The key is to allow the paint to completely dry. And acrylic paint dries fairly fast, usually about 15 to 20 minutes, not even, sometimes less. It depends on how thick you apply it. And that's really up to the individual, the painter. Okay. So now we have our light gray area painted. And that's the majority of the shark. Now we're going to go to this darker gray area in here, okay? And it's really easy. All you do is you take what you worked with your light gray, you add a little bit of blue and a little more black. So how I built those colors up, like I did here, is I added some more black to get to this color here that you see here. I've already prepared it. All you're doing is going to add some more black to your light gray. Get it really dark gray, as dark as you can, but without making it black. And then you're going to scoop up some blue, and you're going to add some blue to your gray. You want it to have like a bluish gray tint to it. Not so much blue. You want to keep it gray, but just adding just a tiny bit of blue to just give it that color, that bluish gray color. And it's still going to come up very gray, and that's what we want. We want it to just be like a darker gray, okay? And then you're going to take that dark gray. It's got a little hint of blue in it. And you're going to just paint the outer part of the shark. So take your time and do that. Sometimes I just hold my brush down and just glide it like that to make my lines as straight as possible. It's one of my techniques. Paint around the eye. Really doesn't matter because you're going to paint the eye black. But just to hold the shape, you can go around it. Okay. Keep going. And I just press my brush down and just let it glide all the way down. Just like that. Go around the eyes. Okay, we're almost done with this. I know I work pretty fast. Okay. Looks good. And if you're satisfied with yours at home, you don't need to keep going with this color. Okay, it's time for us to move on. Okay, cleaning your brush, and I just want to take some of this excess off in the water. We're going to paint the background. Now, using your flat brush, your flat, medium, or large brush, you're going to go into the light blue here, and you're going to paint the whole entire background here on the top and all around the shark, this color here. Now I love using the flat brush because it gives you really nice straight lines if you use it correctly. And for example, I'm just going to show you, you can just come up against that color here and just glide your brush down carefully. And it gets really, really close to the subject. Nice. Again, I'm pulling that color and I'm going really close to the subject without touching it. Just painting around it. And look how easy that was. So if you were worried at home that you would get it all over, you don't have to worry about that, especially using a flat brush. And this is why I love using a flat brush, because it keeps your lines nice and neat, nice and straight. And if you really need to come close to an edge, you just use the edge of that brush, applying some pressure, and you can come as close to your line as you possibly can, just like that. Okay. There we go. And our background is painted in, and it looks good. Okay, now you can clean your brush. It's a little darker so we can see at home. And we're going to take the same brush, the large or your medium flat brush. And now we're going to move down to the base of your painting and paint the water in. So while we let all of this dry, we're going to work in this area here, and then we'll come to the mouth after, okay? So you're going to take your flat brush, and you're going to go into your blue here, as you can see, your cobalt blue, your medium blue, your cerulean blue, whatever blue you have. And you're going to just paint the waves of the ocean. And just like I showed you with using the edge of your flat brush to create perfect lines, you're going to do the same thing with the water here. Just like that. Now complete the bottom. And I know you drew your lines and you probably might be having a tough time seeing them, but don't worry about that. You'll remember when we go over the white in a second, we're going to replace those ocean waves back in, okay? Awesome. Now I can see some of my drawn on lines through my blue, but if you can't at home because you drew a little lighter, that's fine. Like I said, we're going to go right back over those lines. Okay, now you can put your brush in the water, clean it off. And you're going to take your small round brush now, which is this brush here. And you're going to paint the teeth. So I always like to work from light to dark. Same concept here. Some white paint on my brush. And being really careful, just painting as much as you can. If you go over your teeth line, it's fine because you're going to fill it in with black. Okay? And if you find your pencil is kind of smudging and making the teeth a little grayish, you can always do a second coat of white if you like to clean that up. That's all up to you. But for right now, we're just going to paint in the teeth white. You don't really need a lot of paint. You just want to establish that color in there. Because you can correct any mistakes when you use your black. For right now, try and stay as best as you can in these triangular teeth shapes. And we can refine anything with the black once we're done. Okay? Okay. Almost done. Didn't take long. Okay. I think I'm done. But take your time with it. Make sure you're doing a nice, neat job. And I know it's hard to see the white against white, but you'll see the difference when you add the black. Okay, so now I have all my white colored and painted in, and I know you can barely see that at home, and that's okay. You're going to clean off your brush as much as you can, get all the white out. And now you're going to go into black. With your round brush. Okay. So the first thing you should do is just kind of like do an outline with the brush using just the tip. Do not put a lot of pressure onto your brush. That means pushing down really hard. You're going to push down very lightly, gently, and that will help you make a finer, paint a finer line, okay? So that's basically what we're doing. I'm just going to outline each top tooth, at all the top teeth. My paint strokes are going downwards in between each tooth, making it very easy for me. See that? Much, much, much easier. And I'm just outlining. And I'm going to do the same thing for the bottom teeth. Again, using very light pressure, only the tip of my brush should be brushing my canvas. I shouldn't have the entire brush laid onto my canvas, because that will create a thicker line. And that's not what we want right now. We want to make sure we can get into these little small corners and crevices in here nice and easily. And the way you do that is you use just the tip of your brush, okay? Look how easy that is. Okay, nice. Looks good to me. When you feel there's any areas you need to go over, do so now. I like to use my pinky to hold my hand up. It's really nice from keeping my arm from pressing or touching onto my already painted wet part. Makes it a lot easier for me. Okay. Now you're going to take your black paint and you're going to paint in the eyes. Very easy. You know where they're located. We drew them off right here on the sides, so you know where they are. Other side. Very nice. Okay. Okay, so now you can clean off your brush, clean the brush. You're going to take your large flat brush. You're going to dap off as much water as you can. And you're going to go into your white. Not a lot. Brush off as much excess white as you can. And we're going to create these ocean waves following the pattern, the line, our wave line here, okay? So I'm just going to take my brush at a 90-degree angle and gently brush in my white line. Now you may have a little bit of blue left over there like that. You're going to clean your brush each time you do it. So I'm going to clean my brush, re-dry it, go back into the white again, and I'm going to make my second line. And it doesn't have to be solid. We don't want it solid. We want it to look just like this. Again, if you have more room for an extra line, you're going to do the same step, repeat, and do it again. Just like that. Okay. So now, what we can do now is you're going to take your small round brush, take as much water off as you can, go into your white, and you're going to just come around here almost like creating a lip. It's kind of just like that. And then you're going to add some white streaks in here, just a little bit, no particular way. We're just adding some color into, some white color into the shark. You're going to do the same thing here. Take as much of the white off as you can. Just like that. The same thing with the eye. You're going to just put a little bit of white in the eye, going around like that. Very nice. And you can clean your brush off. And with your small round brush, you're going to go into red. Finally red. Yes. Yay. And we're going to freehand a small fish because this is the fish that's coming under attack. Okay. And it's really simple. You're just going to paint like, I would say almost like a raindrop shape, but if you were painting it horizontally. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with like this kind of shape here, like a sad face. I mean, a sad smile. And then I'm going to make it a little bulbous here. So I'm going to keep the fish small. Paint it in. Just like that. Okay. And then I'm going to give it a tail. Two fins on the side, nothing special. Just like that. Clean off your brush. Go into your black, just a little bit, not a lot, just a tiny bit, just on the tip of your brush, just a tip. And we're going to make this movement lines as if the fish has jumped out of the water to try to escape the shark, but it's too late. The shark has it in his grasp. So we're going to just make these lines going like this to show that the fish has jumped out of the water and is now about to be caught by the shark. Hence, shark attack. And so there you have it. This is your painting, painting with acrylic on canvas. Painting titled Shark Attack. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun and cute. Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.